How are you going to make that vision a reality? Again, let's harken back to this great document. The Constitution of the United States is a plan on how to run a nation. It's a plan on how to debate issues and how to elect government officials and how to protect those basic unalienable rights. What is your plan that fits with your vision statement? Ronald Reagan had a plan. What is your plan for your life? As part of your plan, always make sure that it includes role models. People who are older than you are, who've been where you've been before, who you can ask for their advice. You are not meant to make it all up all by yourself. And I'm not meant to do that either as I go through the various seasons in my life. I've always made it a point to have older role models and then to make them understand the importance, and you should take this home too with you, the importance of being a role model as well. Your plan should always include both. Anybody that is younger than you right now has the potential of viewing you as a role model. And what kind of role model are you? Always seek to do both, to learn from those who've gone before you, and to be ready to give every day of your life to those who are following behind you. And then, of course, after your plan, you absolutely have to have courage. This battle that we're in, particularly for conservative values, for those timeless values that we know make America work, timeless values like a strong national defense that keeps our enemies at bay, timeless values like individual freedom and personal responsibility, timeless values like a commitment to God and faith and to our families and to others. The golden rule is a timeless value. That timeless value of free markets, of understanding that if we do our best and if we compete on fair grounds, then all of the people benefit. And free ideas and free speech, all of those timeless values. It takes courage to defend those when you come to Washington, and it takes courage when you go back home to defend those on your college campus. But at the end of the day, each night, when you've been in a battle, if you can put your head on your pillow and you can say, I may not have won today, and I may have been the focus of scorn today, but I put my head on my pillow tonight, resting in knowing that I stood up for what I believed in, and I was willing to make those sacrifices of a hero, then you can be proud of yourself, and you are somebody who is becoming a true hero. And then, of course, the last one is that undying commitment. An undying commitment. See, in the whole realm of courage, and it goes hand in hand with the undying commitment, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is not even overcoming fear. Courage is the act of acting in spite of your fear. And that's where commitment comes into it. The men who signed the Declaration of Independence had great courage, but they also made the commitment when they put their hand, when they wrote their name in pledging their sacred honors. What do you pledge your sacred honor to? What is your commitment? Your word is your bond. When you give your word and you make the commitment, others need to be able to depend on you, especially if you seek to be a leader. There's one story that I find very inspirational that I'll use as the example of commitment, and then I'll be happy to take your questions. And it's a story from the 1992 Barcelona Olympics. There was a British runner by the name of Derek Redmond who was poised to win the 400-meter race in the Olympics. And he was in Barcelona in one of the semifinal heats. And he was running well. He was running fast. And all of a sudden, great pain engulfed his face as he fell to the track when a previous injury burst forth. And the whole world watched as Derek Redmond stood back up to his feet and in great pain and agony started limping toward the finish line with all of his dreams dashed of not just not winning a gold, but of any medal at all. But what really happened that day was even more important than what Derek Redmond did. And that was the panning of the cameras, watching the crowd, a figure make their way through the crowd and down onto the track, fighting the security with the same determination that Derek Redmond was making to the finish line. This figure, this person, was making their way down to the track. And the whole auditorium stood up in applause and cheering and ovation as this man beat off the security guards and ran up, and the world watched as Jim Redmond put his arm around his son. And together, the two of them made it to the finish line. And Jim Redmond's words were, "I did this for my son. I did this because of my commitment, not just to the race, but to him as a human being. We started this out together, and we're going to finish it together too." And I would submit that in whatever your calling is, that the way to be a role model and a true hero is by practicing all those things, especially your undying commitment.